My name is Sam Bailey, and I'm doing Leprechauns.
And are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Wonderful. Josh Gordon, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Right Club audience, are you ready? Yeah. Then it's Sam Bailey for Leprechauns in 3, 2, 1, begin.
The year was 2003. Beyonce went solo with Crazy in Love. North Korea started back up their nuclear weapons program. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King was the highest grossing film. Most importantly, it was the beginning of Bush's Iraq War. Though opposition was often quieted in the States, on February 16th, Irish people took to the streets to vocalize their discontent with the coming war and their government's involvement. Not Irish people here, no, because whiteness, but Irish people in the motherland, especially Belfast and Dublin, organized some of the largest resistance movements to a war that was not going to be fought in their own backyard. And what did our country do? On December 30th, 2003, in the wee hours of the night, Hollywood released a film. This film was called Leprechaun 6, Back to the Hood. The movie starts off with the lore of the main leprechaun, played by Warwick Davis. An English king has a gang of leprechauns to protect his gold. He dies, and all the leprechauns leave except this one menace who steals the gold, calls it his, and decides to wreak havoc on anyone who happens to find it. Chaos ensues. Highlights of the film? 1. There's a black final girl, which is unfortunately still rare. She is gorgeous and ambitious and has a boyfriend who just got out of jail. Did I mention she was gorgeous? That's actually the only highlight of this film. Emily, our beautiful black queen, has a reason for taking his gold. She wants to be able to get enough money, get out of the hood, and go to a safer place like Kansas. And she wins. After he's killed off all of her friends, she hits him with a bag of coins, sending him flying off a roof like Sonic the Hedgehog. The leprechaun is defeated, buried in wet concrete, hands clutching his bloody gold for presumably eternity. The film has become something of a cult classic, even though it's drenched in stereotypes. The leprechaun hotboxes a bathroom with a lovable homie, only to kill him by thrusting the glass bong through his stomach afterwards. Young black men are running around in broad daylight with machine guns like they're in the Purge because, propaganda. When it was released, the press panned it saying, if ever there was a movie to ignite a race war, this was it. I'd be remiss to not let you know that this film was developed and greenlit by Lionsgate, a film studio at the time with incredible resources, all to make this, an offensive degradation of two cultures for the price of one. The leprechaun in the movies has no real connection to true Irish folklore. For one, leprechauns are mischievous but relatively harmless. They pull pranks on people, but they are not wholly good or evil. But chloricons, their cousins, are like the angry drunk version of leprechauns. They haunt bars and create mayhem everywhere they go. Also, they never wore green. Leprechauns dressed in red jacket, red leggings. It was other sprites who wore green. And while Bailey is an Irish surname, this is not my culture. I'm just reporting the facts. You got a problem? Take it up with Yates. It was 2003, and the standards for authenticity and decency were low, which is why the American leprechaun is kind of a man-child. Which brings me to Love is Blind. If ever there was an embodiment of the leprechaun in reality TV, it would be Chris Fusco. If you have not seen this season, God bless you. Season 10 of Love is Blind is a perversion of love and marriage. It's a microcosm of heteronormativity, a warning, an advertisement for the cesspool of dating. It's also insanely bingeable. Disclaimer, I don't hate men. I don't hate men. I love men. I have many male friends. They're all, I love Josh. So so just believe me when I say that this is coming from a place of love for a gender I tolerate greatly. I do not know Chris's ancestry, but he gives real Ohio leprechaun energy. He is the poster boy of fragile male ego. His idea of manhood leaves so much to be desired. He says he has a Charles Schwab account, so that makes him a man. He does CrossFit, and that makes him a man. His condo looks like a safe house for Patrick Bateman of American Psycho, and that makes him a man. He, out of nowhere, breaks up with his fiancée, a beautiful, successful, infectious disease doctor, because she doesn't do Pilates every day, and then promptly goes to a strip club, posting selfies of himself to get her attention like a fucking terrorist, and that makes him a man. You would think, after all of the shenanigans, he would go gently into the night, but no. He's got some gold he needs to collect. The next day, all the engaged couples and the rest of the cast get together for a mixer. Why do they do this? To create drama. We immediately find Chris, a 5'4" imbecile, red-faced with glassy eyes and a clenched jaw, like he's been doing lines of coke after deep-throating a much larger cock in the alley, just lurking around the space, looking for trouble. You can see that he plans to go down in a blaze of glory. That blaze includes telling another trash guy that he wants to steal the fiancé of a mutual friend, declaring loudly on international TV that his ex-fiancée is horrible and bad, and then telling said friend's fiancé that his innate alpha energy is what she really needs, that her fiancé is a sub who could never match his big dick energy. He tells another woman that everyone thinks she's crazy, and then finally makes his way to his ex-fiancée, blames her for not calling after he called her undesirable, and then asks if she has free time to hook up later that week. If this is not wicked leprechaun behavior, I don't know what is. There are always villains on Love is Blind, but this man crawled into the spotlight when he was otherwise flying under the radar. Oh, he is a nasty leprechaun. He'll tell you he can make your wishes come true only to devour your spirit and rip out your jaw for the sake of the plot. This man who, unprompted, called himself the crazy Andrew Tate is more than a leprechaun. This boring account executive, ice plunge enthusiast, small-bodied, mischief-making, soul-breaking, Trump-loving nightmare. He is a liar, the kind of liar that fudges his height because he believes women hate short men, even though there are plenty of short kings banging bitches all day. He'd know that if he got the fuck offline and stopped allowing himself to be red-pilled by the worst scum allowed near a microphone. He is not a modern man. He's a caricature of a man, cosplaying as an alpha because he gets off on furry sex. And I'm not kink-shaming Josh, but leprechaun is not the right word for him. He is, in fact, a cluricon, a degenerate, devious, Napoleon-ass, demonic Keebler elf who wants to leave a path of destruction wherever he skips to because he deeply does not know who he is inside. He has no blueprint that he can... Yeah.
That works.